to watch me play that. But like, yeah. I might only be here for some of it. I'll figure it out.
All right, so I think the stream thinking about things ready to go though. So hello everybody, ZardXer back at it again to give y'all another very exciting video. And for today, we got my ZardCast episode 28 to go through and talk about. Not a crazy amount of stuff that happened within the past couple of weeks though, but just enough stuff where we can have a fairly good solid time here on the episode for tonight though. But with me tonight, I do have Steven here with me. How you doing, man?
Bazinga.
All righty. And before I actually get the thing started off, I didn't want to make this a full-on pop culture segment thing, but I still want to mention it anyway because it's my show regardless, though. But today was for the sports fans out there. Today was Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament, and my Hogs, they were ranked out hardly any issues. The problem is we got Gonzaga coming in on the other corner of the bracket. If we keep winning and they keep winning, we'll probably face off as two Sweet 16s to try to get to the Elite Eight. That's where I have my issues at, though. But I'm excited nonetheless with March Madness because I start formulating brackets and stuff with my friends and family and stuff like that. So good time if you're a sports fan or even if you're just a casual fan. People just sort of still fill out brackets just to kind of compete with people because you got like cash money pools and all that stuff. Sometimes money's on the line and whatnot though. But yeah, so a fun time and whatnot though. If I do have to come back here within my episode 29 of my podcast, and if my Hogs are still in, that means they're Final Fours. That's gonna be a dedicated pop culture segment thing. Like I'm gonna have to talk about that. There's no holding that back. I mean, will they make it there that far? I mean, I don't know, but I won't bet against my Hogs because I'm right there with them with all that stuff. But if you want to hear any about my other thoughts about March Madness, I'll probably be tweeting about it a lot at Megazard_X. I'll probably be tweeting about it because the tournament and stuff starts up as early as Tuesday and Wednesday with the first four, last four out, all that stuff, and then officially kicks off on Thursday. So follow my Twitter account. You want to keep up to date with March Madness and some of my thoughts and whatnot though, because I'll be tweeting about it for the next about a month or so though. But yeah, so honestly, some fun stuff up ahead though for sports fans though. But I did want to get that out there before I officially start up here within my stuff though. But not too heavy in the pop culture segment stuff. And then we got a few decent amount of gaming topic stuff to go through and talk about as well though. So well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump up straight up into that pop culture segment. All right, so first up on the docket, I got to talk about we did have a merge between Crunchyroll and Funimation, and we knew that this happened, golly, like months ago because we knew like Sony went ahead and bought AT&T, or not from AT&T, they bought Crunchyroll, and from there we knew that they were gonna somehow merge Crunchyroll or Funimation, or at least run both these two different companies, I guess technically. They were going to be separate, they're going to merge them together, do something like that. We just didn't know how all the little details were going to play out though. But we did get confirmation as early, I think it was like on March the 1st when it dropped out though. But yes, it does seem like they're moving all of the content that's on Funimation and moving it into Crunchyroll itself. Now, me personally, I've been a big Funimation fan. I personally like dubs over subs. For the most part, that's just how, like, I feel like if I were to throw a ratio out there, like 80% of stuff I watch is probably dub, and maybe 20 or maybe 15%, to be honest, is probably sub stuff. So yeah, so honestly, I was a big Funimation fan, and it's kind of interesting having both these two merge. At least at this point, there's be a very few exception of different animes where I feel like the majority of anything I might be watching will already be with the Crunchyroll Funimation side anyway, and a very few things might be on High Dive, and I can't think of any other kind of anime distributors outside of Crunchyroll and Funimation where I would have to get some other service outside of High Dive. So that is interesting. And in terms of oh, do you have a question? about it?
I was gonna say no. I was just it's like Sony wanted to monopolize the anime business.
I mean that's what you're basically doing because I mean between these two companies, like literally, like I feel like 90% of all anime kind of will go to one or the other. Especially now that they're merged together, that's basically how it plays out. So yeah, Sony was definitely making that pull or making that move. But I was trying to think what was it? Oh yeah, so I said after that so now that these are two merged, it's the big question has popped up is like how in the world are they gonna handle the merge? Are they gonna move all your account information over and all that stuff though. But the way how they basically stated it out is they're going to be moving basically their whole catalog of stuff over to the Crunchyroll side of things. However, how long that would take, that's the big question. I feel like they said they're going to try to get a good chunk of this stuff done within the next month. So by the time the end of March is done with or whatever though. But I mean, yeah, it's still going to take a little bit of time though. Now, as of how quick do you need to make the jump over from Funimation to Crunchyroll, like I use for myself? From this point moving forward, spring anime season that starts up in April onward, all of the new anime is only going to be on Crunchyroll side of things. It's not going to be like on Funimation anymore, though. So any brand new anime from spring season onward, from this point moving forward, it's all going to be exclusive on the Crunchyroll side. However,
Nerd,
any oh yeah, what's up?
is Crunchyroll's price increasing?
Yeah. As it stands now, the pricing is still the same. So like the basic tier is about $8 a month. If you do the fan tier, it's like $10. And I think if you do the super fan or whatever it's called, it's either I think it's somewhere between 13 and $15 or something like that. But no, as the
Seems
price
pretty
stands right
good.
now, it's still the same. It's still the same. Who knows if they will try to bump that up, but as it stands now, it's all the same.
I was just saying that seems I don't know, that seems pretty good, especially now that they're merging libraries, keeping the same price.
Yeah, the big question is how long they're going to keep it like that. Because I wouldn't blame them if they're going to try to jack everything up by at least $2 or $3 since they're all merged. But right now we're,
Well,
we're
I'm
doing
pretty
fine.
sure here's the I think I can kind of see what the strategy is, Art. The strategy is introduce a bunch more new content, their subscription, and then after they buy their subscription, they jack up the price. So then the consumer either has to, pay more to keep getting what they want, or, you know, keep paying. Well, yeah, pay more or lose it. And after they've already paid a month, it's a lot easier for them to buy a second one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect amount of sense. Because I'm
Like,
like,
it's kind of manipulation. Let's just say that manipulation from Sony.
I mean, yeah, because that's basically like what Disney Plus, they started low. They started on the low end. I think it was like $7 a month or something like that when they first originally announced it, and it was going to
It's
be a thing.
it's still like 8.
And it's
It's
like
fine.
it's 8. I think they moved it up $1 or 2 since they what no, it might have been as low as $6 when they originally started. I can't remember, but they moved it up either $1 or $2 since their original launch. So that's what they
It
will
was
try to
I
do.
swear it was 5.99. I
Yeah,
swear it was
like $6.
5.99.
I think it might have been 6, and right now I think it's up to $8. I usually do I pay in the
Oh no,
whole
yes.
year, so I about get like what 2 months for free or roughly like that. If you pay in a years out in advance or whatever, though, that's the way how I do it. So I save a little bit of money though. But
Maybe maybe I should be doing that because I paid for like a couple months on accident.
uh, yeah, I
So yeah,
mean,
maybe I should be doing what you do for that because I'm gonna use it.
yeah, and especially if you got ahead of the curve. Let's say if you had the money set aside and you already paid it up, think about it like this. You could literally, if you do savings and you do a little bit of budgeting or whatever, though, imagine if you saved up and set aside the money that it would be per month at a discounted rate since you would pay a full year out in advance. So normally you'll pay $8 a year, but I think if you pay for the yearly, it could be like $6 and something cents. So if you set aside that $6 and something cents for a whole year, by the time you would come to your renewal for a year, you had all that money set aside in your account, then just pay Disney and then boom. So it's acting like, you're paying the cheaper amount. So if you're smart about your money, you ideally could do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Also,
oh go
yeah.
ahead.
Say what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
No.
so I was
Okay.
about
Oh wait.
to, bro. I guess I'll go. But oh, shoot, I'm trying to remember what was the last thing I said. I mentioned something
Uh,
about oh, in terms of how they were going to handle the shift over. So yeah, and I mentioned how everything spring season onward is going to be coming purely to Crunchyroll side. And in terms of your Funimation stuff, if you're a Funimation person like me, I think this is where I last left off at. You might be thinking, well, how soon do you might need to move over? Well, technically, they're nice about this because they know they're going to be shutting down the Funimation stuff here fairly soon, though. So everybody that's subscribed to Funimation, I think prior to March the 1st. Oh no, I did that on purpose.
oh.
I had to stop for a moment though. But
Oh.
if you happen to be a Crunchyroll person, or not Crunchyroll, a Funimation subscriber, prior to February the 28th, then you're able to actually they gave out codes where you're able to have a 60-day trial for Crunchyroll Premium. I guess it's like the most basic standard tier for it though. But yeah, they were able to give you that. So I have that sitting in my account and I hadn't activated mine yet. And here's the reason why. It's because technically, for all of the anime that they have currently going on at the moment, that they're going through and dubbing, like for example, one of them is I'm trying to think of one that they're dubbing, but they like Tribe Nine. It's like a baseball related anime though, but it's a crazy baseball one. Like they fight in the baseball
Fucking
anime.
baseball.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's not like your traditional baseball or anything though.
Oh,
But anyway, like there's an anime like
not like
that.
your traditional baseball.
Oh no, it ain't. It
Oh,
really ain't. So
well,
they got an
what do they like?
anime. Oh what?
Yeah. I was just gonna say what you say. Was it like fucking super dramatic baseball where they like say where they like explain every single move?
No, it's so you play baseball like almost like normal, but however you're playing it in like a big old city. So they hit the ball and it flies somewhere deep in the city. Somehow they got all their players spread out across the city. They're chunking balls through there, and whenever you catch a ball, you don't just normally catch it and they're out. You have to forcibly tag them out. But when you forcibly tag them out, it's like a street brawl fight in terms of you being the runner and trying to avoid them and then being the tagger and like you can like punch, knock him out or whatever though, and then you're just trying to round out all the bases and whatever though, and they got like crazy bats they hit with, etc. Like it's like a hardcore street baseball. It's weird, but it's entertaining. But
Uh,
yeah, so like for example, an anime like that, it's not quite on Crunchyroll just yet. However, they said for any active ongoing dubs they have for the series going on right now, they'll continue doing those up until when they finish it, whatever though. So as long as it's still ongoing on Funimation side and it's not on Crunchyroll yet, I don't see the need for me to fully switch over. However, because the spring anime season's coming up and the fact that you can only watch the new stuff on Crunchyroll, I'm holding out for the rest of March. And when April starts and when we start getting new shows for the spring season, then I'll activate my 60-day trial. So that will carry me for the rest of April and the month of May. So by the time June comes around, hopefully any ongoing dubs on the Funimation side would have wrapped up, they would have finished, and then I start putting my money towards Crunchyroll. That's the way how I'm playing it out. It's probably the smartest way to play it out. So that way you're still saving money regardless, and you're still able to watch the new stuff on Crunchyroll and stuff. But yeah, so that's basically kind of how they broke it out. If you happen to be one of those people that subscribe to Funimation for a whole year, that's probably when you need to get in contact with some of their people at the FAQs or whatever though, or talk to support because technically you paid so far out in advance. I feel like they should kind of you know recompensate you for whatever else that
yeah,
you
I would
paid.
say
Yeah,
I would I because can you pay for a whole year? Because if so, yeah, you're losing money.
yeah, you can pay for a whole
If you
year,
were
and that's
able to
the
pay for a
thing.
whole
Yeah,
year of Funimation,
yeah, you're able
yeah,
to.
no,
So
yeah,
for those people,
and
it's a
it's
case by
probably
case scenario basis.
yeah, which is
So yeah.
I I feel account merge system, especially well, I would say oh it's you could say like oh it's different code. They own both of them now. They can change the code,
Yeah,
and
they can
like
change the code. They can either change the code or give
I
you a
don't really
whole new
see the
one to, recompensate you for it, though, or something like that,
or yeah, you could just like yeah, they could literally just give you a 12-month code for Crunchyroll if they
or whatever, or something like that. They could do something So it's been, you know, a case by case scenario basis for whoever happens to be bought in for a whole year or whatnot, though. Especially once the spring anime season comes out, you're gonna want to start watching some stuff on Crunchyroll just to keep up with your spring stuff. Like in spring, you have like Shield Hero that comes out, Data Live. I'm trying to think of another one that I was looking forward to.
Isn't Shield Hero like subbed though? At least until the end of the year or something?
No, Shield
I don't
Hero.
know.
No, Shield Hero. The second season, it will be starting in the spring. And normally, the old Crunchyroll habit had it being dubbed 6 episodes in. But since Crunchyroll and Funimation are Funimation's, let's say if it was a pre-COVID world, Funimation would normally dub stuff either the day of, you know, like same day dub, or it'll be 2 weeks
Yeah.
behind the sub.
I
So
will
that policy
say
with dubbing stuff with Crunchyroll might probably change with the assistance of
I
Funimation.
I very much hope they keep the same dub for Shield Hero because I
Oh no,
like
no,
that dub.
they usually do. They keep the same voice. That's the thing. All you got to do is keep
They
the
got
same
Xander.
voice
Yeah,
actors. So I'm pretty sure
they
they
got
will.
yeah they got Xander Mobus, so I fucking hope so.
But yeah,
Have
so
you watched Shield Hero, Zard?
bro, I wouldn't be talking about it if I hadn't.
Oh, just making sure. All right, because yeah, I liked it. I
No,
very much liked. That's like the only anime that got me to give a shit.
That's probably Crunchyroll's only thing that they dubbed that I thought was actually a really good dub. Outside of Tony Kawa
So
Over
then
the
why?
Moon, that was like a
Yeah.
rom-com thing. That one's
Oh
fairly
wait.
good. But
Okay. I think we should probably move on to the next thing. We've been talking about pop culture for a while, but I was gonna say two things. One, does Crunchyroll give you access to subs?
yes, they did. Yeah, that's primarily their big focus is the subs. They didn't prioritize dubs that much.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, so that's basically going to do it for that one right there, though. So, ooh, so I didn't think we're going to be talking about anime that much. I mean, shoot, it's been a
Can
while since
I
I
can I
talked a lot.
can I
Yeah.
bring up my own pop culture segment?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Turning Red came out, and without spoiling anything, it's a good movie after the first 5 minutes. That's all I'm gonna say. Like Zard, you know all the trailers for that movie that like people don't like?
A little bit. The weird thing with that movie is, honestly, I have to say, I don't remember seeing too much in the lead up to it in terms of the trailers and stuff until like once the movie dropped. Then I started seeing some stuff here and there on TV and
Yeah,
whatnot, though. It was weird because I
they
guess
handled
originally it
that.
was supposed to come out on in the movie theaters and then they pushed it to Disney Plus.
Yeah,
It was only thanks to one of my friends that kind of knew that this thing was actually a thing. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know. I just missed a lot of
cause
the promotional material.
cause here's the thing. From someone who's watched the movie, the first 5 minutes are so unbearably hard to sit through that the rest of the movie being pretty good surprises me.
Hmm.
It does not ever reach any of the highs that Pixar is known for, but I'd say it's just a nice movie to watch. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it if you just like, if you like movies, I guess,
I mean,
which
yeah,
you do, so I
I'll
think you're
get
safe.
to it and watch it at some point. I still have that in the the other Disney movie that came out recently. You know of it. I just can't think of the name off the top of my head.
I know of it. I'm trying to think. What?
It was Encanto?
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't fucking watched that, honestly, Zard.
I just never got around to doing it.
It's pretty good. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think Sonic thought it was like just all right, but I actually relatively liked it.
Hmm. But yeah, I'll get it. I'll get around to watching those Disney movies though. But I guess that pretty much does it in terms of our pop culture segment. So we'll go ahead and switch over to the gaming news. Right. So to kick things off, we did get the confirmation that Square Enix is doing something that I know a lot of Nintendo fans really wish that Nintendo would do, but they actually managed to release a YouTube channel soundtracks for all the different IPs that Square Enix had: Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, the Mana series, etc. I think everything but maybe Kingdom Hearts or something like that, because I think that has like different, ties with,
That's
other
Disney.
yeah, with Disney and stuff. So yeah, so
Disney.
there's other ties up in that one. So not that one, but everything else, and I think maybe Dragon Quest too. But yeah, so a lot of their different
No, yeah.
yeah, so a lot of their different franchises like that. Now you can listen to it on their official YouTube channel, which they were pretty good. They did put some stuff like Neo the World Ends with You and the original World Ends with You. Not only did they put on the YouTube channel though, but I think that was also on Spotify as well though. So yeah, it's just kind of nice to see a company actually put their stuff out there, so that way you can kind of just sit there and listen to it and stuff like that.
Well, Game Freak did that with BDSP, but I'd say that that website was not a good website. It was
Oh,
nice that you could download it and all, but like, yeah.
oh yeah, they
If
did do
only,
that.
yeah.
Huh.
I'd be happy if they did it with Gen 5. I like the music in Gen 5 a lot.
Yeah, which I kind of applaud them for doing that, because I mean that was like technically the
I
first
just
attempt. You wouldn't think that would happen with the Pokemon company
I
before
just
Nintendo, but huh?
well, well, that's the I think that just Zard, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure, honestly, that just kind of shows how pathetic Nintendo is with the whole soundtrack thing. Like
Hmm.
shutting down Giva Sunner and not even releasing their own music. Even you gotta admit, it'd be very nice if they just release it themselves.
Oh no, yeah, I would agree. Like if they could drop that mess and just put a lot of their stuff on Spotify or something like that, then I can just kind of
Like,
scroll through it and stuff.
you ever
I guess they
see?
want, I guess they want everybody just to go around with their Super Smash Brothers Ultimate on their Switch, plug in their
Yeah.
earbuds or put in their wireless earbuds, because the thing
Do
has
you
Bluetooth
remember?
now.
Do you remember the stupid ass Smash Direct where they like say, "Oh, you can even put your Switch in sleep mode and still listen to music." That's Zard. That's definitely what they want people to do. And Nintendo was like, "Hey Sakurai, can you put this feature in? We want to market the Switch as an MP3
MP3 player,
too
like a
so big.
I mean,
It's too
it's
big
like
for
the
that."
old classic MP3. Like, golly, that takes me back in the days, like traditional
Yeah, but
MP3s. Like,
like,
oh my
it's so
gosh, but those were
it's
pocket
so
size.
inconvenient. Yeah, it's so fucking inconvenient though. That's the whole issue with it.
Yeah. So I'll just prefer to have it where I can just either have it on my phone or whip it out on my laptop. Because literally, in terms of the soundtracks they officially launched, I mean, the only thing that's official soundtracks that Nintendo has put out there is anything they put in their limited edition stuff. Like for example, Fire Emblem usually gets limited editions all the time. So like Fire Emblem, not Fates. Fire Emblem, shoot, I'm trying to think of the right one. Three Houses have one. I know Fire Emblem
Fire Emblem,
Echoes
the
have
Yoinky
ones.
Sploinky.
And then like for example in the Legend of Zelda series, like I have the Legend of Zelda one as well. Like they always like put those in CDs, and I always have to remember sticking a CD in my laptop, burning it to my computer so that way I had it digitally on my laptop, and then putting the files on my phone so that way it was just convenient that I always had access to them though. And then even now, like my laptop I'm looking at right now, it doesn't have like a spot
So
where you
like,
stick the CD player up in there though. So even
so
if they
like,
were to do that in the future, I wouldn't be able to even. It would be harder, or I have to go out of my way to get the stuff off that CD in a more convenient digital format.
yeah. So hypothetically speaking, you pirated music.
I own it. It's just moving it to a different spot. I mean, I had the rights to the physical CD. I just moved it to where it's on my phone. Because think about it nowadays, if they were to do that, you can't even hardly stick a CD into your laptops nowadays, though, unless you're gonna stick it in like your Blu-ray player and just play it off of your
You got a
TV like that. I mean, that's
if you
like the
get
only
like
other
a
way you can kind of do it.
laptop, you can still do it. And tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me, does this work or not? Can you just like plug in a disk drive or no? Does it have to be like internally installed for
No,
that
it doesn't
shit
have to.
for disk?
No, you have to get like some kind of disk drive that plugs into a USB slot
External.
on your yeah, it's an external one that plugs into a USB slot on your
Yeah.
laptop itself. That's the only way how you're gonna get
Yeah.
something to run on your
That's
thing
yeah,
if it doesn't take a
that's
disk
so
drive.
inconvenient. Get why people just like to have music downloadable, because here's the thing, a video game, having it like physical actually matters, but video game music is so small. It doesn't fucking matter what format you have it in. You're still listening to video game music. That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much though.
like you don't music is it's only sound. like videos and stuff. People still buy movies and stuff. People buy vinyls, but people buy like vinyls and stuff for the novelty, not for the use. People buy like physical movies to watch physical movies, you know?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Usually, and also music isn't something that like can be recreated. Like, if you have an old ass movie, it's kind of not always the easiest to like recreate that movie. I guess I'm trying to like say in an easy way. Like, but music, I don't know. It's only sound. It's so much easier for Nintendo to drag and drop a fucking file of music on their website
Oh,
and be like,
because
okay, you can
yeah,
have it.
because it's just an MP3, which MP3s are naturally like really small compared to like a video format, like something that's like an actual video size. Obviously, that's gonna be way bigger. But most MP3s, by the time you do that, you can even compress them down even a bit further though. But yeah, the file size on MP3s in general just fairly small. So yeah, I get the talk about what you're talking about with it being pretty simplistic and kind of easy for them to do it. It's just the matter of fact that someone taking the time to sit down and because I know they got all that stuff somewhere, and a lot of them, like for example, like a lot of games nowadays, they'll let you go through and scroll through the soundtrack and then listen to certain things like on there. Like even like one I'm thinking of, like off the top of my head, like Persona 5 Strikers. If you bought that game digitally, I don't know if it was because you bought it early or like on the week of launch, but they had like a whole nother app that you downloaded on the Switch itself that basically went through and played through the whole soundtrack of different things. And I remember I was like, oh, okay. And then later on, they just dropped all that stuff for Persona 5 Royals and Strikers soundtracks on Spotify. But yeah, I mean, there's ways and how they already naturally do it in their video games. I know they got the files somewhere. It's just them taking the time out to pick and organize and where they're going to put this at. They're going to put it on the website, or they're going to put it on a YouTube channel, or they're going to drop it all on Spotify, or do any combination of the three. They just got to sit down and actually do it. I just don't understand why they hadn't, but it is what it is right now. But hopefully they can turn face about if they see enough people in the industry doing it. Maybe I don't know, but at least Square Enix took the first step forward. If they dropped on there though, but I might hear fairly soon though.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
just,
so
I'm just sitting here fucking dying in Demon Souls right now. My God.
yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and spin it over to the next topic after the Square Enix music stuff because we did get quite a bit of updates in terms of Nintendo Switch Online in general. I mean, quite a bit. So we got to take it one step at a time though. So the first thing is they did bring out new Switch icons and missions that are available for Nintendo Switch Online members. Honestly, I can't say when the last time we had the last update on the Switch itself where we got like normal icons or whatever. It's been months.
It's
I mean
sad.
months.
That's pretty. That's like extremely sad how they can't just give us JPEGs.
Yeah, so I don't know, but maybe it's because they had a different system in play, and I guess now we might be seeing the fruits of their labor or whatnot, though. Because if you're having to be a Switch Online member, now they're starting to pump out icons out the wazoo, like way more than what we probably got within these past few weeks than what we had on the whole entire Switch from launch up until these past 5 years. It's kind of crazy though. But in it, you're able to go into your like missions and rewards section, and you're able to choose out all these different icons. Right now, it seems like they're probably going to focus on 2 games a month. At least maybe that might be the trend. Who knows? We'll have to wait until April to actually get some concrete evidence of what the trend may be, though. But right now, they're focused on Mario Odyssey and Animal Crossing. With the Animal Crossing side, you have all the icons available, and that's it. Like they're not adding anything else. There's just a crap ton of them. You can go through and choose what you want. At least with the Odyssey ones, they have that on a rotating schedule. So every Monday at some certain time at night, they'll rotate a new batch of icons and backgrounds and stuff. And it's not just icons themselves; it's the
Oh,
icons with like a background itself with a potential like what's the other thing like a border or something like
it's
that
like
going around. A
it's
combination
so
of those three
every week
things.
it's been 10 characters and 5 borders and 5 like little backgrounds, which is cool. I like the feature. It now Nintendo. How long till themes? Are you gonna make us wait another 5 years for themes, Nintendo?
Yeah,
I'm just like
they're gonna
mad
make you
about
wait.
that.
They're gonna make you
I
wait on
like
them
them.
themes.
Like they're nice icons. Like I like the Odyssey ones. And also just so you know, the Animal Crossing ones are gonna stay for like the whole year. They're just gonna rotate villagers. Because it's gonna right now it's March birthdays. I don't know if you've seen that.
I
It's
saw that they
villagers
were
with
focusing on the
birthdays.
Animal Crossing stuff for March, but I thought it was only be just March. But you're saying that you thought you saw something on there where they're focusing on that, or at least it's gonna that category is gonna be up for a whole year.
Yes.
Hmm.
To my knowledge, Animal Crossing will be monthly rotations,
Oh,
while
okay,
Odyssey's gonna cycle out after the end of this month, and then
okay.
probably come back eventually. Because like they already confirmed Breath of the Wild and Splatoon 2, but I guarantee there's more. Like, listen,
Yeah.
give me Smash Ultimate. Come on, Nintendo. Give me
Yeah.
Smash
You
icons.
know what? I want Xenoblade icons above anything else. And if they can't get the Xenoblade, then I'm like with you, give me Smash, because through Smash, then I can get my Xenoblade stuff with like with my Mithra and whatnot
Yeah.
though. So
Even just
yeah,
a fucking
hopefully.
simple Shulk icon. Give me a Shulk icon. Give me a PNG that just says Xenoblade fan. How about that,
And you know what's the
Nintendo?
most
How about
shocking
anything?
thing is the fact that
What?
Nintendo hasn't even dropped out any icons for the Pokemon series. Like I'm like, what the freak? Like you think that's a given? Like how long I gotta wait over here to change my icon to a
I'm
Charizard, man?
pretty sure
I'm
they
like,
legally can't
I
without
mean,
paying
I mean,
without paying
I mean, all
Pokemon
they got to
Company.
do, I mean, all they got to do is coordinate with the Pokemon Company because they got part stakes up in that. I mean, it's not that hard. I'm like, come on now. Ugh. But anyway,
I don't know.
though,
The only thing I could think of is that they don't want to add Pokemon icons because they don't want to, they don't want to have a screen full of them, I guess.
you know.
Or yeah, I don't know. I feel like they don't want Pokemon icons because Pokemon games have their like trainer cards and all that and stupid ass shit. I'm pretty sure Pokemon Company, as stupid as it sounds, I'm pretty sure Pokemon Company wants the game Pokemon Sword and Shield themselves to be a social interaction experience. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, they want you to have I wouldn't be surprised if one day we get like, make your Pokemon account.
I mean, you
What
kind of do that through the Pokemon's website, though, for some few things that they do with trading cards and all that stuff, though. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah, but
it
like
is kind of out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get there with the games eventually.
Yeah.
Like just like, make your Pokemon account that you used for everything Pokemon, which I would be opposed to, honestly.
Yeah, they're big enough to kind of do that if they wanted to, though. But also, along with the icons, there are missions associated with it, which is the kind of closest thing to achievements, but it's not really achievements because it's not like game
I like
specific.
it.
It's like
It's
for the Nintendo Switch in general, to be honest.
which I don't know. Well, first of all, having just a nice easy way to get platinum points is nice. I don't want to go play Nintendo's stupid mobile games for platinum points.
You need to play that
It's
Fire Emblem
no.
Heroes, man. That's the easiest way to grind out some platinum coins if you really need some stuff to get some
It's
physical
not
rewards. Just saying, though.
well, it's not that I need them because I don't. I just like would like to have them. I would like to be able to get some of those once in a while without having to sell my soul to Nintendo mobile game.
But I guess it's kind of nice that they did do that and they put that addition of getting platinum coins through that way because all these icons and stuff like that for these for the uh for the icons for your profile, they all cost about roughly about 10 or 5 platinum coins each. So at least doing the
Five,
missions,
oh,
it's
five
10,
for backgrounds,
yeah, 5 for
10 for
backgrounds,
characters.
10 for characters. So at
Now,
least doing a few of those can net you like 300 coins, which could honestly get you shoot like 30 different icons. So basically
yeah,
you doing the missions basically allows you to get all the different icons. And especially for those ones that rotate on the week, you might as well get as much of those as you might possibly think because it's almost gonna be like a collecting game because the uh for some people they're not going to be able to have every single thing unless they rerun some of these stuff or whatever though, but at least they put the missions up in there so that way you can keep a recurring amount of platinum coins coming in that allow you to still get more icons, so it's just kind of nice.
It reminds me a lot of Nintendo Badge Arcade, except not Nintendo, like, just your icon. But the only thing I'll say, make it so you can combine stuff from different franchises, Nintendo. Don't like
Oh,
lock all the
yeah.
Mario Odyssey stuff to Mario Odyssey specifically. Like, of course, you'll be able to mix and match all of the Odyssey stuff, which is cool. But like, I don't know, I think it'd be a lot cooler if you could personalize your icon with your two favorite series. Like, have a Breath of the Wild icon with an Animal Crossing character.
No, put dog. I'm trying to think of, like, if you had a background of like the of that, what is that one kingdom, the one that basically is like Dark Soulish or something like that, and then
And
put
okay,
like
listen,
Tom
listen.
Crook of put Tom Crook up in
You
front of
say
it, be
that,
like, what the heck?
you fucking here's the thing. You say that, I'm gonna be very mad if they skip over that kingdom.
Be better. I mean, I just want the,
I
you know
will
what? I
I
want the
will put
dragon
the
from it.
ruined
I want that
dragon.
dragon. Oh, you're right about it.
Well,
I do
yeah,
want that
yeah,
dragon, bruh.
yeah. Because that's ruined kingdom, if you remember from Odyssey.
Yeah, I
That's the
just want that
whole. That's what
dragon.
I'm
Now that I'm
trying to
thinking
say.
about it, crap. I mean, I already got the dinosaur, and the dinosaur was cool though. But I also want that dragon though. But yeah, so that was just one of the many updates they did for the Switch Online. But here's another one that they also did, because it did update the Switch mobile app to version 2.0.0. The main difference with this is the fact that you can actually see people's statuses online. So you can actually check on your phone to see if someone happens to be playing their Switch online, and you can also change your status update where you're either visible or not visible to other members as well. And then you can also whip up your friend code. You're able to copy it and paste it, which honestly, that's a whole lot more convenient now. You'll be able to copy it and paste it like on Twitter or Discord or something like that. You don't have to worry
It's
about pulling up
nice.
your actual Switch and
Yeah.
then looking up there and then retyping it down. So it is, a little bit convenient now in terms of sharing that around though. But that's it, except for the fact that it has like a black background, which I kind of like that better compared to the red background ish. Well, I think it was like
I
half
swear
red,
it
half black.
always no.
It might have been half
It's
red,
the
half
same
black.
background. It's the same
Pretty sure.
background, Zord.
I'm pretty sure it was
It's
like
the
half
exact
red,
same
half
background.
black. I
But
don't
yeah.
know.
You wanna know what would be better, Zard? You want like that app would be so much better if you could just voice chat with any of your friends at just send them an invite. You don't have to be playing a game.
Oh
If
yeah,
you could
which
yeah.
yeah.
Like no, but like you don't have to have a texting feature, but should have an invite to a call. And
Hmm.
if you accept and of course, if you have a child's account, that wouldn't be, you wouldn't be able to do that. But if you have an adult's account, you can connect that to your talk to people. That would be so much better because I could like talk to, I could like contact people on my friends list that I haven't like played with in a while and be like, hey, you want to play?
Yeah, which honestly kind of reminds me of PlayStation's app, which that one's open for anybody. You
Which
don't
is
have to
much
necessarily,
better.
yeah, I know you don't have to necessarily be like an online member for PlayStation though. Like you're able to join in calls, you're able to like text chat, you're able to even drop pictures up in there. And I think I already said join in
It's
calls
a mess.
themselves and whatever, and see
Yeah,
what people are online and what they're playing. So it seems like Nintendo's kind of moving towards that, but keeping it within the
that's just
online
the.
side, I guess it's
That's just
kind of
what
keeping it different.
I guess.
But
I guess the whole thing's are. I'm just kind of sick of Nintendo taking baby steps.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it is kind of annoying them taking baby steps though, but I'm just kind of glad we're
It's
getting
not like this is hard to
somewhere.
figure out. That's
Yeah.
the thing, though. You should, at least for me, I don't know, Zard. I'm not glad that we're getting somewhere. I'm mad that it took so long. Like,
Hmm.
you can be both. At least I'd say that being both is definitely a good idea. Just because, Nintendo doesn't give us these things because like PlayStation fans would call the next system got rid of half of those features. Nintendo fans would justify it, saying that as long as they focus on, which is what that's what Nintendo fans always say. At
Yeah.
least the games
You
are
got
good.
some points though,
That's
but at
all
the
the Switch has is its exclusives. The Switch
Mhm.
has lost like every other unique thing it had. Even Steam Deck has like portability with a bunch of options.
Yeah, because I will say this: the fact that well, number one, you can't even forget the fact that their online infrastructure was using stuff with what was it, the Windows
Windows
97 something
98.
or 98 or something like that. Like that's how long they've been using. Like I guess they went with the whole mantra: if it's not broke, don't fix it, except for the exception of
But
Smash. That
it
was
was
broke.
broke.
But outside of that, most of their other online stuff hadn't been too terribly bad, with the exception of
Have you
Smash, though.
played Mario
But
Maker 2? Have you played Mario Maker 2?
I
Genuine
mean,
question. Have you
yeah, I'm
played
shoot.
Super Mario
It's been
Maker 2 online?
it's been a hot minute, but I do remember playing that, and yes, that
It
game was
is
rough too.
sorry, sorry. I have over 1,700 hours in that game, and it is by far the worst online experience I've ever played.
Bruh.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say.
But yeah, so going back
Favorite
on
games
that,
on the
I
Switch,
have
but it has the worst online known to man. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah. But they have been making steps in terms of them kind of changing the infrastructure up, because if you look back at it, it was something I reported back in my ZardCast episode, maybe like a few episodes ago, where Nintendo was investing like up to like almost like $1 billion worth into like pouring that money that they got profited off of Switch back into their own company, and expanding their region over there in Japan. They've been doing that. Then you turn around and you look at Nintendo's website, and they gave that thing an overhaul, and it's completely different from the traditional way. You see press releases how they're saying how we're going to be continuing the Nintendo account thing moving forward. Hopefully that will apply with digital purchases, as like we go from like a Switch to a Switch version 2, and maybe being able to kind of remember the purchases you've been making. I mean, because if they choose the same form factor from this point forward on, they'll be able to do things like that. You see them doing an update on the Switch Online app as well. They added the addition of
Yeah.
the Switch icons, and now they're actually doing missions, which is probably the closest thing that we've
Okay.
had to accomplishments. The stuff has been piling up, and it's been one thing after another for the past, I think, a couple or a few months now. So they've been making those changes to their online infrastructure. It's just not all at one time, which you can never do anyway, unless you want to break or crash your servers. Ain't no signs of it. So I'm just kind of keeping my
Yeah.
eye out on it for like the next year and a half, and
Yeah.
see
The
where we're
only
gonna be
only
at in like a year from now or something like that.
only problem with that new website is that it's worse.
For me, it's actually been better and a little more convenient. I mean, yeah, it was bad when they originally launched it. Like what? Because we were trying to get me and Bronto were trying to
The
get on
2DS thing.
the 2DS XLs, which the day that they dropped those out was the day that they updated their website. So like, wait a minute, this looks completely different. But yeah, after that, after I ironed out some of its kinks and stuff, it's easy seeing your platinum points. It's they put more stuff up in the shop, or it's like exclusive stuff, or like if you have an online membership or you just have traditional or whatever though. I mean, it's actually a cleaner website. I actually like this version better than the other one. It's just a lot more convenient stuff. Shoot, the fact that you don't even have to if you pay, was it $50 online, they won't actually charge you for shipping anymore, when they used to charge you for shipping on anything that you bought on their store. So I was like, oh, thank goodness for that. But yeah, so it's just little things like that they've been kind of going through and updating on that though. But I guess we kind of drifted pretty far away from the Switch mobile app though. But we'll go ahead and move over to the next Nintendo topic, because we did get the confirmation that yes, unfortunately, Advance Wars Reboot Camp 1+2 has gotten delayed indefinitely, and it's been due to
Yeah.
real world events. And honestly, I was looking
Yeah,
back
Zard.
at
I think
this. Oh, hold on. I think they've been, and I went back and looked at this real quick, and Advance War has a really bad history in terms of launching their games. Because I heard or I saw that I think it was Advance Wars 1. It also dropped roughly around a day or so before 9/11 actually happened too.
yeah,
And I think it actually
that's
had to
right.
get like a little bit delayed or something like that, with like the post with the shipping of the units and whatnot though. So Advance Wars just had terrible timing. And originally, this game was supposed to be out last year, though, but it just kind of sucks,
The
though.
December. It was supposed to come out December 2021.
Yeah. So it is a little sad. I was almost kind of looking forward to this, though, but then again, there's so much stuff coming out now. So with this game being delayed, not really
Well,
all is lost, and they could push this to the second half of the year, and I'm pretty sure it will still probably be fine. For how long will this get delayed?
it's
I
not
don't
like
necessarily know.
it's not like it's a new game. It is a remake. It's not like this is something that people are waiting to experience for the first time.
Well, I mean, unless you missed it like me, like I never played any of the Advance Wars series, which is going to be a good chunk of people
Yeah. Oh
at the
yeah,
end
I
of the
know. I
day.
know. We never talked about this. Advance Wars being remade is another reason why I'm very much confident that we're not going to get GBA online. Like Why get the GBA online when you have the game? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would we put Game Boy Advance online when people, it's gonna make the remakes so bad? Same for like Link's Awakening. I just don't really see the Game Boy system getting on Switch Online. That's a whole nother conversation, I guess, though.
Yeah, that is another conversation at the for a whole nother day, because that's one of the reasons why I feel like they probably don't give us access to GameCube, because they can easily take one of those GameCubes, either make a remaster, do a
Yeah, but
resolution
the
thing or something
issue,
like that. So as long as they don't make
the
it easily accessible for other people to get it, then you can also turn it to make even more profit later on in the future, though. But we'll dive into the other can of worms in another
yeah, well,
day.
I was just gonna say the issue is that they don't do that. They have, GameCube games are by far the easiest games. You don't gotta make any adjustments for motion controls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't gotta adjust the game in any way. It's just mostly a port job. So, and they just don't do it. But yeah, Advance Wars. Probably not a good idea to go into complete detail about the whole political side of things. Besides, obviously there is a situation going down that involves one of the parts of the game's name.
Yeah, and I guess that's the main reason why they want to keep it out of the, out of public perception with it, because you are going through game, or you're going through this game, and you're basically doing some of the same stuff that another country's
Glorifying,
kind of
I guess.
doing. Yeah, what another
They
country's
don't
doing
they
right
don't
about
want they
now.
don't want to they don't want to be seen as glorifying and or encouraging
Yeah,
war,
yeah. So
which,
that's
listen, I don't agree with, because I feel like, it's a fucking game, but like, I get it. I definitely get it from a business standpoint on why they don't want to.
Yeah, it's just mostly the business stuff. Although I will say this, I thought I remember seeing one of the characters in the game, and it kind of reminded me of a Russian. I can't remember exactly. I have to go back and look at the footage though. But I thought
Oh,
one character
well,
kind of resembled
I
one
don't
of
know.
them, but
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
but like,
But
well, besides going into the political stuff, having a character in a game that's a Russian isn't a bad thing.
it's not
It's
necessarily
just,
a bad thing. It's good for diversity and stuff like that. But when you release it at a certain time in history where other things is going on and people can make references and ties where, this game is not harmful at the end of the day. It's a nice game. But when you compare it to what could be happening with real world events, that's from the business point perspective where you don't want to necessarily cross that line. And Nintendo has been a company before where, due to real world events, they will delay certain stuff. Like, for example, there was like a tsunami that happened in Japan on one time, and because of that, they delayed a Nintendo Direct for a whole entire week because they just do it out of
yeah.
natural respect. Like, Nintendo's
Well,
always been known to do that, and they did it
well,
with Advance Wars
to
1
be
back in the day.
fair, to be fair, the tsunami hit one of their development studios. So yeah, and it was for a game that wasn't out yet. So like, maybe they weren't comfortable showing off the game because maybe that earthquake could have stunted development randomly, you know?
I mean,
It was
yeah,
like it was a and I think it was ND Cube that was affected most, which, they make Super Mario Party, all the new Mario Party stuff.
yeah. So honestly, it is sad what's kind of going on with the real world events, and my thoughts are out there for all of those that been affected and stuff like that, though. And if you happen to be one of those few people out there on the internet that is thinking that Nintendo delaying this game is controversial, and you're butt hurt about it, I mean, I think you need to reevaluate reevaluate yourself, because at the end of the day, these are
Yeah,
just games. Lives are a whole lot more important. We can always wait and be more patient for certain stuff like that. And two, it's not like Nintendo shutting down all their games and saying they're delaying everything. No, there's still stuff coming out, so you can just wait and abide time. And
yeah.
I know that a lot of people that are probably complaining about this
Listen,
anyway
did you
are
see
probably
that?
people that weren't even gonna
Yeah.
pick up the games anyway. To be honest, they're just complaining about
We
something.
have we literally have a game for every single well, we don't have release dates yet, but we probably have a game for every single month of the damn year. A
Up
big
until
game too.
July, almost up until May
Like,
is
here's
weird,
the
but up
it's
until
so it's
July,
so
just about
it's so packed this
capping. I know that's for
because,
sure.
like, holy shit, man, there's so much stuff this year. I don't know what they could do.
Yeah. But I guess that's pretty much it in terms of the Advance Wars side of things, though. But we'll go ahead and jump back back onto the online side of things because we did get the release and drop for the next
You're
Nintendo
missing
Switch.
one.
Wait, what?
You're missing the PlayStation part.
Oh, yeah. And okay. It was a sub side thing, and I didn't have it up on my OBS side of things though. But thanks for reminding me on it though. Yeah,
It's
because I did
definitely bigger
because
than
on the
Advance Wars.
yeah, because tail or I guess piggybacking off of the cancel or not cancel. They base or not fully cancel. They basically decided to say, hey, we're gonna stop all transactions that are kind of going in and out of Russia as well. Like you couldn't like they're not gonna do sell Gran Turismo over there. You're not able to like buy stuff off of their the PlayStation store and whatnot off of there. And also like not sending any hardware up in there as well. So you're not gonna see like PlayStation 4s or PlayStation 5s going up in there though. So a lot of different stuff within the video gaming industry have been kind of siding with, like we don't want to see senseless killing and whatnot, though. So a lot of people have been kind of pressuring Russia in the sense that, all right, we're going to stop doing our business over there, make ourselves look good from a, business point perspective, and we're not going to try to associate yourself with her. Similar like how Nintendo is kind of, not, they're delaying one of the games that kind of showcases off war. A lot of this stuff has been happening with other companies. Sony's just one I pointed out, but I'm pretty sure it's happening with a lot of other companies as well, though.
I was saying I almost feel bad for like the innocent people in Russia, you know, that have to deal with all this, that just want to play games, nothing to do with what's happening over there.
Yeah, which it does kind of suck because I mean I'll hate to
And like,
be
yeah, I guess it's a,
yeah.
but like I get it. Did you see? And this is also part of this. You don't have this. Did you see that they basically allowed like legalized piracy in a way
Well, yeah, I
over
definitely
there?
saw that and I was
I'm
like,
not.
bro,
Yeah, I'm
that's just
not gonna.
purely out of
I'm not gonna.
retaliation. This is purely out of
Yeah,
retaliation of most businesses saying, hey, we're not gonna take
it's
your business over there. So then they're like,
it's
well,
not
we
gonna
don't care
work.
about you, but yeah,
They're not. It's not gonna work because most people aren't gonna, go through the trouble. Most people, at least for new,
yeah. At least for newer games, they're not gonna go through all of that. Yeah,
get a ROM, pirate it. Some people don't want to take that risk. Cause like I emulate stuff, but I definitely understand that there is a risk to it. Like,
yeah. You can get one good virus, and
correctly,
that will
you
that,
can lose your.
or it can mess up your hardware, etc.
Oh yeah, virus. It's just viruses mostly.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I think that was the only other thing I wanted to piggyback off of the Advance Wars being delayed though. But thanks for Steve. Thanks for catching that one out for me though. But yeah, so outside of that, we'll move over to the other Switch Online thing that we did get the confirmation and release date
much
for, and
bigger.
it's
Because
already out.
one
Oh,
one obscure remake of an obscure game. Okay, calling Advance Wars obscure is definitely wrong, but like I'm just trying to like exaggerate how like PlayStation literally completely pulling out is a much more dangerous, much more risky move on their part.
mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to affect them much because people that, well, obviously people that already had the systems shutting down the. I don't know if you've seen this. Are they shutting down the PlayStation Store over
No, you
there?
just. I mean, I don't know if it's like shut down, but it's like I guess like for example, if you were like to boot up the PlayStation Store, maybe it's just saying that it's offline or the servers are offline. So you can still kind of almost see it, but then when you go up into it, you can't buy or purchase or do any transactions. Something
Okay,
like that. So I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll flip the switch back on once everything gets settled, but for now, that's just how it is.
okay then.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see how that goes. I do feel bad for people over there, but at the same time, you know, it's gonna be over. I hope this is over soon, just for all parties involved. Because they Nintendo, all these companies, they don't want to pull out of Russia. They make money off of that. They make money from that. But right now, yeah, we can move on to F-Zero.
Bro, you didn't even let me do my transition after I tried to do that like
Listen,
3 times in a row, bro.
yeah, well, you did forget about those two things though.
I
Those are
forgot. I
very
forgot
big.
about. I forgot about one thing. I don't know about a
Well,
second
I
thing, but
well, I
yeah,
I brought up the whole thing about just like them allowing piracy, which is gaming related.
yeah. All right. So moving over to the next one, we do have F Zero X that was announced and released within like the span of a few days. Dropping to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. And honestly, I will have to say, if you're playing this game offline, probably the best N64 game we probably have gotten on the system, because you can't say there's that many games out there on the Nintendo 64 that run at 60 frames per second and looks as clean as it does with some of the what would you call it, textures, or I get, yeah, some of like the textures and stuff that they did on the
Both.
cars and stuff like that. Like this game runs clean, super
Maybe I'm
clean.
just maybe I'm just on like super crack. It almost looks cell shaded,
No,
or at least
no,
like the
but
model in the vehicles have this weird ass stylized shading that I love.
hmm.
It it is a miracle that that game runs how it does on N64.
Yeah, I just don't even know how they pulled it off to begin with, though, but somehow they did. You got 30 racers on, well, 29 plus yourself, making a grand total of 30, racing on these courses, doing loops, going upside down, zigzagging left and right, making hops, and like staying in the air before you land back down and stuff like that. And then you're able to knock people off the course or damage them, and then, like they just die and whatnot. A lot of stuff is going on that track at any given one point, and they still pull that mess off, and you're still able to play it with
Yeah.
up to 4 people online. Now, I know me,
Well,
you, and Hacks managed to get online, and
uh,
in terms of the online experience, then again,
no.
it's you're only as strong as your weakest link. So when we were playing with Hacks, it was kind of rough because his internet
It
connection
was
wasn't super
no.
hot.
It was
I say kind
extremely
of hot,
rough.
kind of rough.
Yeah,
No, it was
but
extremely rough. Like
yeah,
it was
it's not.
churning.
Yeah, but it can be like Mario Party with him runs fine. We had a game with you and him a couple weeks ago that ran fine. Remember?
Yeah,
It's just that N64 in a very interesting sense. It has its quirks. That's all I'll say. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say it has its quirks.
yeah. And then I do remember, at least once we let Hacks sit out, and it was just me and you. Oh, the experience was almost night and day. And I was like, at least at that point, you had some stutter, but for the most part, it felt almost pretty consistent. I say almost pretty consistent, where at least I felt pretty good about moving the course, and there wasn't like too much delay or whatnot, though. Now, those matches were fun, and I didn't know at the time how to do like the little twist barrel, like do like a 360 spin, so you can kind of use that to knock somebody else up against the wall and do damage against them and whatnot, though. I guess that's what makes some of the fun in general, though. But this is a really fun game. Like, probably the most fun I have with an N64 game in quite some time, to be honest, in terms of having that newness factor, but also, like, shoot, that mess goes
Controls
hands. And the controls that's sick.
some
That's
of the
pretty sick.
tightest in the entire. Well, and also it's the most responsive game on that whole package because a lot of those games have input lag, like a decent amount of input lag.
Hmm.
So yeah, like it's nice. It it reminds me of what I expect from a game. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. It reminds me of what I expect when I think of Nintendo re-releasing their old games.
Yeah. So, honestly, if you hadn't,
I'm
yeah,
very happy. I'm extremely sorry.
oh yeah, I was just saying, if you're already on the Switch Online expansion pack and you hadn't touched this game yet, I don't know what you're doing, but like this is like one of the best games you could probably play up there in terms of like a multiplayer sense. One of the best games you can play up there, along with like Mario Kart 64 and Mario Tennis. I guess we had a pretty good time playing that up there, though. But I think like this F Zero X is probably the best, I would say, multiplayer game that we have on the system right now. With the exception of maybe Mario Kart 64, though. But shoot, that game just hits hard. Like, holy shoot, the music stuff too, man, it just looks real good. And that 60 frames per second, I think that's the main highlight of the day right there. It's just that 60 frames per second though. But I think that's pretty much all I had to say on F0X. So we'll go ahead and move over, I think, to like one of the last major Nintendo focus related stories I have for today, because they did drop a demo for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, me personally, I hadn't actually managed to go through and actually play the demo just yet. I will at some point. I just don't know when. But Steven, have you played
What
through the
are you
demo?
doing? It's a fantastic.
I know it's probably fantastic. I just hadn't gotten the time to sit down and do it yet. I mean,
What are you
look,
doing?
I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that's coming out right now, and I'm juggling my hands with some of the stuff which we'll talk about a little later once we get to the what you've been playing segment, though. But I mean, my hands has been tied. My hands have just been tied. And I know this is a
I
game that
know, man. I understand.
I will eventually get. I just probably won't get it at launch, but I might push this out and maybe get it in May when nothing really comes out in May. Like literally, there's nothing that I know of that I wanted to get in May, so it's probably gonna get moved out to that month because I know there's some other stuff like what was it, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax that's coming out in like a few days from now.
Hey,
So
Zard. Well, I was about to say, I would say May should be like your backlog month, but like I don't know. That's what I'm doing. May is gonna be my backlog month. Work on most of the Pokemon games. Work on some of my PS5 games.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of just do my stuff wherever I can kind of fit it in at because honestly that backlog it just gets I just trim it wherever I can fit it in at this point though. But honestly, I seen some good stuff from the demo, a lot of good impressions from people either streaming it or talking about the demo and stuff like that though. So I could tell this is
It
gonna be a
is
charming game. It's gonna be a charming game.
it is the it is the perfect evolution of 2D Kirby. It is exactly what I expected when I thought of the game.
Mhm.
And
Now,
it's very similar. Yeah, I think it's just like paying respects, but like it's extremely similar to Return to like or it has a lot of Dreamland on the Wii, which you got recently. But basically, if you didn't know, Return to Dreamland was originally gonna be on the GameCube, as well as a like Return to Dreamland and like I think 3D Kirby game. So like if you think about it, Kirby was supposed to go 3D almost 20 years ago, but it never happened.
hmm.
And it's so nice to see it finally happen because the series has kind of been in that rut. But like it's not really in a rut because Kirby games are consistently quality and consistently fun. Like Planet Robobot, the last one on 3DS is like the best one in the series. But Forgotten Land has the potential to take that spot.
Yeah, and I guess at
It's
least for
it's
me
it
personally, and I think it applies to a whole bunch of other people that play, different games outside of Kirby and whatnot, though. Kirby games, you know, um, are basically like the most easy in terms of, or at least the most accessible. Maybe I'll go with that word. The most accessible to basically any gamer, whether they be young or whether they be old or whatever. Though, like you're not getting into like a super difficult game. So for people that kind of play, normal average games or super hard games, average to hard games. When they come and play a Kirby game, it's pretty simplistic and kind of go into the game. You kind of just kind of go through the emotions or whatever. Though, like for example, I played Kirby Star Allies, and I was just kind of just like running from start to finish, level to level, didn't really kind of lose. I got into the final boss where
I'd
I
say
actually
that Kirby
managed to kind
Star
of,
Allies was like the definition of too boring those are.
yeah.
Where like that game other Kirby games had like things to collect in every level, but like Star Allies didn't. Well, well, Forgotten Land not only has difficulty options. Oh yeah, have you played the demo? I know that you're waiting on getting the full game, but like just play the demo. It's like you get like 3 levels including a boss. One of them's the first level in the game, I'm pretty sure. It's a very good showcase of what that game's gonna have.
It
I'd say it's
probably,
like the perfect I'd say it's the perfect demo. It shows you the beginning, it shows a good first impression. It shows, what to expect from the final game. And once you complete the demo, it even has a little surprise to get you to replay the whole thing again.
Honestly, I
It's
think,
it's
at
really
least from
good.
my point perspective, I think I'm gonna, whenever I do play the demo, I probably will capture some footage and whatnot. Though maybe I'll throw that up as a video on my channel, just separately or something like that. At least I think that's the plan for it, though. But I am on a time clock. I got to do it before
Yeah,
the actual game drops out. But
yeah. I
that
seen
that'll be the
people.
closest thing for me doing that though.
I remember Kirby should go open world or Kirby should go 3D, and I'm like, no, it should not. It should not. Well, no, not 3D. I've seen people saying Kirby should go open world, and in my opinion, no, no, it shouldn't.
No, that'll be too
I
much.
feel
I
like
think that'll be way too much for
no, because
Kirby.
like the whole concept of Kirby works so much better as a linear game, or like not even a linear game, but a objective based game. Just being like going around and doing the the gameplay style of Kirby.
Yeah, basically, as
Kirby
long
is
as you're
most
staying.
Kirby Kirby is most fun when you're experimenting with copy abilities, beating up bosses, and just enjoying the nice set pieces in every level.
Basically, as long as you stay within
And
like that realm of like Mario 64 to Mario Odyssey, like the sandbox style, as long as it stays
I
within
would
that kind of
say
environment, I think it works fine and you can still keep it pretty linear,
I would
like objective
honest
based. Like
okay.
you can still do that. I think
I
that's where
would
it
say
probably will
that
shine.
the game has an eerily like similar level design style to 3D World, but the innovation and creativity of like Galaxy in how
Hmm.
the levels are like designed. Like, like it's got the gimmick. The gimmick of the game is also really fun. The mouthful. Not only is it really funny to get, but it's also mixed with the gameplay. It's not just like it's not like the friend abilities and Star Allies where you watch it. Remember those fucking friend circle where you jump a couple times.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
don't know if
So
you remember.
um, at least for someone like me who plays, average or a lot of average games or some that might be on a little harder side of things though. For most people, they might be going through the emotions and going through the game is really easy though. But the one thing I do like about this game is they have difficulty options. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, because when I'm playing this game, I'm putting it on the hardest difficulty. Because I even heard from some people they didn't give them too much trouble, but they did have to think about their approach a little bit, I guess, in terms of one of the bosses though. But at least you're not just like cruising through the whole entire game. So at least when I pick up this game, I am going to put on the hardest difficulty. So that way I can at least make it feel like a more of an average kind of game. Because Kirby games, they're not the most difficult ones in the world, though. But I do like the fact they did put a difficulty setting on this thing,
Difficulty, yeah.
though.
It's like it's not even harder, but like well, it's okay. No, it is like technically harder, but it encourages you to like do a higher difficulty because you get more of the stars, and you use those stars to buy stuff in the main village. So,
Oh, okay.
faster by playing a harder game. It's the perfect difficulty option. I'd say Kirby honestly just feels like the game that Hal has wanted to make for so many years, or like
Y-
or Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can tell, this is definitely the game I have the most to say about. It's so fun.
But yeah, so I guess it pretty much does it in terms of the demo talk. Obviously, we'll talk about the game more. Maybe I'll have Bronto. Bronto, I don't think I ever had Bronto on my podcast before. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, shoot, I had Sonic on here like the other week or the other episode ago or something like that, and he hadn't been on here since I rebooted the podcast though. But at least when that game comes out, and as long as he's been going through and playing through the game, I gotta get him as like he would be technically considered as a guest appearance for the show though. But I gotta get him on the show somehow so that way he can
Yes, you could.
talk about
I guess you could
talk
go
about
with
the
that.
game. Yeah, because I mean he's not like one of my regular routines like you, Mario, Hats, Sonic Q, Alexis, and all of them though. But yeah, so I guess
Well, I
that
wouldn't.
basically does it for the Kirby
Yeah.
stuff though. So we'll go ahead and move over. So that's basically it in terms of all the Nintendo news though. But then we did get confirmation that a State of Play released within this past week, and they went through and announced quite a bit of stuff. One of them I was really excited for, but then another one kind of hit me. I was like, wait, what the freak? The first thing that came out with was a new game made by Cap. I want to say Square Enix,
Capcom. It
Capcom,
was Capcom.
and it was Dino Crisis. I was like, wait, what the heck? I was like,
No, it
hold on.
was not.
Oh wait, no. Wait, did I say Dino Crisis?
Yes, it is called. It's you have it written down too. It's called Exoprimal, but everyone's
Exoprimal.
comparing it to Dino
Everybody's comparing it
Crisis.
to Dino Crisis. Oh my gosh! Even when I wrote down the notes, I still messed that up. Exo. Oh
Yeah,
my
Capcom.
golly.
I don't know why they didn't call it Dino Crisis. Like, what the hell, Capcom? Well, maybe it's like
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were deciding though, because a lot of people wanted Dino Crisis, but we got Exo Primal as well. But regardless of the fact, I guess you're using like these these dudes. They're already in mech suits, and then they go into another mech suit. I'm like, all right, whatever. And you're just fighting like leagues upon leagues of dinosaurs. I was like, you know what? I was like, this, and the game is supposed to be coming out some point in the year of 2023. But I was like, you know what? I'm genuinely kind of like, if there was nothing else releasing around the time that this game comes out, I might honestly pick this up. Because I do like dinosaurs at the end of the day, though. And then just fighting a whole bunch of them is pretty cool. And then you can also, I guess you can fight with or play with co-op. I don't know if it's full co-op or what, but you can partner with a lot of different people online or like your friends or whatnot, though, and actually, fend off against all
I
these
was gonna
different
say
dinosaurs.
most games nowadays have co-op though.
Yeah. So honestly, I think it's going to be a really full. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game at the end of the day. But I was like, we'll have to see how well it holds up between now from when they showcased it off to the point of when it releases some point in the year of 2023 though. So I'll keep my eye out on it because I think that was like the one thing that kind of caught most people by surprise. But it is Capcom making this though, so I don't know. It could turn out to be pretty good. Who knows? But I
Yeah,
think
we'll see.
yeah,
We
we'll
will
see.
fucking see.
And then after that one, they released like a whole, or not released, they talked about a whole bunch of other games that were, some were okay, some sort of kind of mid or whatever though. But then they caught me. They had one person showing up off of the block. And I was like, bro, I haven't seen you in like the past 20 years. What the heck you doing over here? And that boy off the block happened to be Konami. And the Konami's like, you know what? It's been like since the 70s, but you know what? I'm here to show out because they announced that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the CowaBunga collection, it's coming out to the PlayStation 4. We later found out after the presentation that it is multi-platform, so we'll be going to Steam, Xbox, all the Xbox consoles, as well as a Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness it's on the Switch though. But this game
Online.
has 13 different games spanning across the arcade games, the stuff that happened on the NES, SNES, and the Genesis. I was like, oh freaking shoot. Like they literally had the
Well, I was gonna
original
say,
arcade version game up on this thing. I'm like, oh, and now I got my brand new arcade fight stick. I can actually make it feel like I'm actually in the arcade. That is just sick. And I'm just surprised they were able to drop out 13 different games for this. But what were you about to say, Stephen?
aren't all of them beat 'em ups? Or I'm trying to think. Like, aren't
No,
literally
not
all
all
of
of
them
them are beat
beat 'em
ups.
ups?
There's
Or
three of them in
beat
the.
'em?
I'm trying to remember what's the name of those games, but there's like three different games because I think one's on the SNES, one's on the Genesis, and I thought one was another one or something like that though. But there's three of them in that series that are actually act like fighting games, not like beat 'em up games.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. I guess I never played any of the TMNT games.
What the
I
heck?
don't know. It's cool. Yeah, I know. Listen, I don't know. I was never very interested in them, but like it's cool that they're re-releasing those games. That's cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. That state of play was honestly kind of stupid for me. I don't know. I didn't really. I feel like nothing in there interested me.
I mean,
90% Square Enix too.
yeah. And honestly, for me, I think the main highlights was definitely the one I want to call Dino Crisis, but it's not, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. Because going back to the TNMT stuff, yeah, it was 13 ones. You got like Ninja Turtles the arcade. You have Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time, which I heard a lot of good things about that game. I'm glad I'm able going to be able to play it though. They got that one on the arcade. They got the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES, and then they got Hold on, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game on the NES. Then you got the Manhattan Project on NES. Then you got Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo, Tournament Fighters on the Super Nintendo, Hyperstone Heist on the Sega Genesis, Tournament Fighters on the Sega Genesis, Fall of the Foot Clan Game Boy, Back from the Sewers Game Boy, and Radical Rescue Game Boy. Because honestly, I'm not Capcom, Konami. We know how stingy Konami is. They hardly do
We
much
have
outside of
a
their pachinko machines and whatnot, though. So the fact they showed off the block and gave us all those Teenage Mutant.
I was gonna say that new television series, to my knowledge, ended, and I don't really think there's any content besides this new game.
Yeah, it's the new game and the collection that
Well, people like the early 2000s stuff. What the 2004 series as well a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people grew up with that one. But yeah, um, but yeah, that's cool. State of Play itself, I wasn't very interested in the slightest. But to each their own.
Yeah, because at least if I were to rank it on a letter grading system, for me, I put it at a C. Because obviously it would have been a lot lower if they didn't have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff and they didn't have that thing that looks like Dino Crisis at the very end. Because those were the main two things I pulled away from it. Square Enix did show up quite a bit and they had a lot of different stuff that was announced up in there. I'm trying to think. Valkyrie Chronicles was like one of the last couple things they ended on and stuff like
That's not
that.
no.
Or was it
It was like some weird new IP. I think.
No.
I
If
think it
it's
was a new I.
Valkyrie
I don't know,
Chronicles,
man.
no,
I don't know
it's
what it
technically
was.
an existing IP. Valkyrie Chronicle, if you're thinking
No,
about
it
that
wasn't
one,
called.
unless you're
No,
thinking
because
of a
it wasn't.
different
I don't
Square
know. It
Enix
was like
game.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't called Chronicles. It was Valkyrie something. I don't know, man.
But the
Probably the
Valkyrie,
same
whatever
series.
it was a established series. It was one that's already been a thing though. But
Well, I know that Valkyrie
yeah.
Chronicles or whatever. It's fine. They ended it with that. They had a new trailer for that Final Fantasy game that everyone's been making fun of.
Oh, Stranger of
If you've seen
Paradise. Oh
anything
yeah,
about,
there's a new demo
yeah,
for that
that
one
one,
out
that
now,
one
which I think that one you can
certainly.
carry over your save progression stuff to the full game. I think.
I just like that game looks like the most stupid stuff ever, and I honestly might look at the demo because my God, it looks really funny.
I mean, it's probably gonna be one of those games where it's either so dumb. I mean, it's either so dumb or so stupid or so bad that it's good. That's what it kind of. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting from that game. It's weird,
Yeah, definitely.
but yeah. So I think that's
Absolutely gonna be something like that.
yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it in terms of all the stuff for State of Play, and that's almost all. That's about all of the gaming topics that I had to go through and discuss with y'all today, though. So quite a bit of stuff that happened within the past couple of weeks, but nothing super crazy or anything like that, though. But we'll go ahead and move over to our next few topics. That being so about that show. Dang, I messed up my little what you call it thing though. Yeah, all right. So anyway, so in terms of the shows that I've been watching here lately, honestly, I've been watching a little bit of the Proud Family episodes because I was super excited about watching that series though, and those first few episodes have been interesting nonetheless. I'll just kind of leave it at that though. I mean, yes, it is nice to kind of see all the voice actors and stuff kind of get back together though, but they're definitely hitting you with some of those episodes where. Proud Family is kind of like one of those shows that basically they always like teach you a lesson at the end of the day, though, and that part of the show has not missed a beat. And so it has been respectable, at least on that front, though. But I didn't necessarily think that we would start off the series hitting kind of that strong that early on with some very interesting topics. And I'll just kind of leave it at that, though. But if you watch the series, you probably know what I'm talking about, though. But, oh, wait, hold on. I almost had you on mute. Oh, go ahead and say that. Oh, yeah, it is kind of
Wait.
higher
Oh,
rated. Is
wait.
that
Why'd
what
you
you
have
said?
me on mute?
Oh, no, I had you on mute because
Okay. I was saying, oh,
some
what? Because I messed up
transitional
the
stuff.
transition. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed it up. Sorry, I didn't know you were transitioning. I was just gonna say, it was like it's definitely more mature from what I've heard. I was gonna say, I know it has a Boondocks reference in it, which is really funny. I've never watched the original Proud Family though.
Yeah, you need to do that because I mean, shoot, that original series hit hard, man. I was like, ooh,
Yeah,
really love that.
but when I seen that clip about them reference, like, okay, that's pretty funny. Maybe I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't know if you missed the reference, they reference Uncle Ruckus from that show.
But yeah, they've been making they even went back and made references even to the classic series. Like they've been doing it every now and then, which honestly got me to kind of laugh here and there though, because I just
Does that
remember a
even
lot of those episodes.
does that even count as a reboot or just like a
It's not a reboot, it's more like a
new?
sequel. This is a sequel, new
Yeah,
series. Yeah.
I was gonna say because it's like not like I don't think anything's redesigned.
No, not I mean, the art style is a little slightly a little tweaked, but outside of that, it's mostly the same. And it makes
Still has
recalls back
Trudy's
to the
ass.
bruh, no, we can't get into that here, man. We can't get into that here,
Well,
especially
well,
after
we
what Sonic
technically
did on
can.
his street. No,
We
no, no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. I'm not
Well,
gonna
not
allow it.
not
I'm
that
not gonna
way.
allow it.
Not
I'm
that
not
way.
gonna allow. I'm
All
not gonna
right,
allow
all
it.
right, all right, all right, all
I
right.
can't.
All
But
right. Well,
anyway, though,
all I can say is that it has elements that do please me. I can say that.
bruh. But anyway, that's one of the things I've been going through and watching. And oh shoot. The other thing I was gonna say, which it's kind of bad that Sonic U's not here. But I
I
did
don't know.
recently watch the newest Batman movie that came out. And honestly, I
Oh,
have to say, if I were to rank that out of 5 stars, I give it like 2.5. I mean, it didn't do anything crazy for me. I mean, for some people like Sonic U, he said he thought he really liked the movie and whatnot though. At least for me personally, I saw some kind of like some plot error or not plot errors, some like plot issues that I saw
like
personally
what?
towards the
Okay,
very
we
end.
can
Like
both
for
we
example, okay, we're going
we
into
can talk about it.
we're
I
spoiler
seen it.
territory if
Yeah.
you hadn't seen the movie yet. So I guess
Okay.
tune out for a little bit though. But
Give them
towards the
five
very end,
seconds.
yeah, for like
5 seconds to tune out.
well, they got the 5 seconds by now, at least hopefully.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
towards the end of the movie, like the main antagonist, the dude that was basically calling all the shots and going through and killing all the different rich people through Arkham City, he was the one that when he finally got locked up in jail, right? And it seemed like Batman
Yeah.
finally got his hands on the bad guy and whatnot, though. Honestly, they could have ended the movie right there because that dude basically accomplished everything that he wanted to do. But at the very end, he just saw it fit to say, you know what, I'm gonna blow up half the city, flood the city for some oddball reason, even after I killed
He
everybody, just to kind of add in that
didn't kill
extra.
everybody.
I mean, no, not to
He
kill
killed
everybody,
five
kill.
people. Yeah,
I
he killed
know,
5 people.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he was just doing additional damage on top of the stuff that he already did with the targeting of all those rich people, which honestly wasn't really necessary, at least from the motivation of what he was trying to do and what he was trying to accomplish, unless for some reason the dude already knew that Batman was Bruce at
Well,
the
he
end of the
did.
day, which he kind of
This
did, but it kind of didn't make
no
it seem super.
literally said
Yeah,
in the prison scene. He literally refers to Batman as like real slow five
yeah,
times.
yeah. He says
Bruce
bruise,
Wayne.
but then again, if you think he would do that, then at the same time, he would have been kind of shocked the fact that he didn't
I was gonna
actually manage
say
to successfully kill him. So that's why I
if you
was
don't
kind of
remember
like, there's a little dissonance right there. I don't know.
if well, if you don't remember the entirety of everything he did, all the people he killed, uh, came back to Thomas Wayne. If you remember, like all of them connected back to Thomas Wayne. He kills the mayor first. He kills the mayor first. Okay, well the DA didn't really connect to it, but he got the next hint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like how everything in that movie's connected. The like Catwoman's friend, the one that was connected to the mayor, and Catwoman herself is connected to Falcone, and Falcone's of course connected to Thomas Wayne.
Hmm.
The only thing that I didn't like, you know how they reference that like, Thomas Wayne sent somebody to kill this person had dirt on Thomas Wayne and then he sent Falcone to go kill him.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that the guy I don't know, I was waiting for the plot reveal that the guy who found the dirt was the Riddler and that's why he knew so much because he was
Mhm.
like I thought the whole plot reveal was going to be that they tried to kill him and failed, and he came. This is him getting his revenge on the
Yeah.
city for like not giving him a chance. I guess he's just an orphan. He's just a nobody orphan that like was wow. No, he grew up in the poor part of the city, and I guess had some obsession with Bruce Wayne living up in this tower as an orphan.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I would say about the movie as well is at least for me personally, I guess the movie for the most part was a really slow burn, not too much action. Then again, with most superhero movies, I like a decent amount of action. Doesn't have to be like chock full of it, but when you do it meaningful and impactful. But doing it at the
Yeah,
very tail end of the movie, when the dude already accomplished what he did, kind of set a little sour taste up in my mouth. If
yeah.
you would have done it a little earlier and had some confrontations with the actual people, I just felt like Batman was playing this never-ending chase and he still never succeeded. Like he didn't even
Yeah.
have like any
Well,
partial moments of like, oh,
but
okay, at
the
least I
oh,
accomplished something. It was
I
just
can I
weird.
can I say
Yeah.
can I say something though? That is very similar to Dark Knight. In Dark Knight, he kind of failed. Like, Joker wins in that movie. Joker, like, well, except for the whole Harvey Dent thing at the end, Joker won. But like, I really like how like it builds tension. Like, like in certain moments when something big is about to happen, the music like swells up and everything.
Hmm. And then I don't know, maybe it was also
Yeah.
something about the actor himself. I wasn't like super keen on him or whatever though. I mean, shoot, he even do
But
like the
uh,
iconic line of like, I am Batman or something like that. He even do that or something like that. All they kept saying was they kept referring to him as in the shadows and whatnot though. But I would say overall, the movie really didn't do anything for me personally. I'm kind of glad honestly that when I went on like a $5 night Tuesday to watch it at AMC because I would have been pretty upset, and the people also that went with me would have been pretty upset because we all kind of felt the same. Like we didn't really like the movie that
I
much,
got
but we would have been pretty upset
okay.
if we paid the regular ticket price for it, though.
I have very different thoughts on the movie. I really like it, and I absolutely love all the like. It's definitely a different type of Batman movie, but you gotta remember that Batman is, the world's greatest detective. So matching him against the Riddler really well, but is executed really well in this movie. And also, I don't know. I think all the performances. I feel like okay. Tell me if this makes sense. I feel like the guy who plays Batman is a really good Batman, but not a
Hmm.
very good Bruce Wayne.
Yes, because me and Sonic you were talking about this. I think the day after, or the day after I watched the movie. Yes, that's
It's
the one
just.
thing that also I nipped in the
Oh
bud
wait, can I?
along with the darkness and
Oh,
along with the some of the
oh,
plot
can I?
issues.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, and along with some of the plot issues, the thing I really didn't like about the movie is when you're dealing with Batman, there's two sides of him, and they always have to balance the Bruce side as well as the Batman side. And we
Yeah,
rarely ever got to see any of the Bruce side, and that put a sour taste up in my mouth because normally
that
he uses his detective skills. He does what he can with Batman at night, and then does what he can with Bruce during the day. That kind of
you want to know. Yeah, you want
and
to know what I
that was
don't
just
like
non-existent.
though. Yeah, what I don't like is how even during the scene where he's watching the camera lens in her eye, he's like still wearing the Batman suit for half of the detective stuff he does.
Hmm.
Even when he goes, even in the first scene where him and Alfred are detecting the cipher, he like has the suit on for the first like half of that scene. And also, like, of course, the black makeup he puts on around his eyes as Batman when he takes off the mask, it looks super edgy.
Oh no, I don't think I was a personal fan of it, but I
So
guess it
here's what
is
I'm
what it
gonna say.
is.
But like in my opinion, the stuff with Bruce is like they don't have a lot of it, but some of it's pretty good. Like the scene where he like goes to Falcone and Falcone like admits the truth of what his father did, like hiring him
Yeah,
to
yeah.
kill someone. Yeah, that's an amazing scene. And also, setting up the bomb and he's like, you could see the rage and like sadness when he realizes what's about to happen to Alfred.
And one of the
I
last things I would say
That scene is
before
great.
Yeah, and
Oh,
one of the
sorry.
last things I will probably say about the Batman thing before I guess we move on to the next thing though is
Well,
they should never kill
I
my
have
boy
really nothing.
Alfred. They should never kill my boy Alfred. That's the one
They
thing.
didn't
That was the
kill him.
last. I know, or threaten to kill the man like that. I was like, no, that would have been the final straw. They would have killed the man. I would have walked out of the theater. Then there, I would be like, no, man, you can't do this to me. But yeah, so I
I kind
guess
it's kind of weird how he just leaves the movie. He fucking leaves the movie after, like, he's in that one. He says the Batman. By the way, Falcone killed your father, or Falcone had your father killed, and then he just like fucking leaves the movie, right? Like he stays
he
in
said
that
I'm out.
hospital
This
bed for the
movie's whack.
rest.
He was like, this movie kind of whack anyway. I'm just gonna chill here. I don't blame the man. I don't blame him. But anyway, though, so I
I don't
guess
know.
that's
I like the movie. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I just
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the audience score, which the audience score seems to be fairly high as well as some of the critics, like roughly in the 80s ish. I don't know. I just kind of came off with a sour taste from it though. But that's pretty much it in terms of, I guess, our Batman thoughts or like a little small mini review of the thing though. And I did have some other stuff, but I guess we've been kind of talking about this quite a bit. So I'll save whatever other little things I've been watching. Like there's one anime show I've been watching and been enjoying quite a bit. Hopefully, as long as I remember it, I'll try to mention it next week, though. But as always, like what I always traditionally do, if for some reason, if there's any kind of good show out there, whether it be on Crunchyroll, Funimation, or maybe Disney Plus, or any other streaming service that I might possibly have, if you got any recommendations, leave them in the comment section down below. Because if you happen to be the first one, and if there's a way how I can possibly see it, then I'll go ahead and give it a try, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it within the next episode whenever we get to the so about that show segment though. So that's always out there for whoever happens to be the first one. We'll leave that comment up in there though. But that's gonna basically do it for that segment though. So we're gonna jump over to the next topic being the what you've been playing. All right, so shoot. In terms of the games that we've been playing, I've been playing honestly a very mixed bag of stuff at
did
the
you hear what
moment
I
though.
said?
And
Oh, I
you
know.
know what? The reason why I didn't hear what you said, Steven, is because I had you on mute because you keep forgetting about my little transitional stuff.
I wish. Yeah, if I was watching the stream, I'd probably be able to see when you did them. It's not
I know,
intentional. I'm not
and that's
sorry.
it's the rule of thumb though. But anyway, you just got to run through the show a little bit more though. But in terms of some of the stuff I've been playing, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag of sorts because with the Wii U and 3DS eShops closing down, that has caused me to go through and play one 3DS game in particular. I did manage to pick up Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers on the 3DS, and I now have a new 2DS XL, so I've been playing it on that. So anytime I'm not playing the Switch, I might be playing that. And then also Triangle Strategy has came out. I think I'm on roughly chapter 8 right now. I just finished a stream going through like chapter 7 part 2. Gosh, that was a long chapter. I think 2 hours something up in there. Literally when I was going through the game, there was like one little segment in the game where it was like, hey, this army nation is coming to your hometown and you got to fend them off. But there's so many a number, it's going to be a losing battle. But what you have to do is basically set your whole town on fire in order to fend them off. And when you set and burn certain areas
Fuck.
up, it's like it's an instant kill on your enemy. And I was like, dang, because I was trying to lure them into these like death boxes, and of course the boss who has like on level 15 and like my average units are like on level 6 or 7. I was like, no, there's no way I can fight this woman in a head on. God, I can't even talk in a 1v1 fight. There's no way I can beat him. So it's designed like you got to get her trapped up in there along with all the other units. And I'm like, shoot, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because she keeps going around in the safe areas. I couldn't get him going there, so I was like, you know what? I was like, the win condition was as long as all my units have not got wiped out, I won't lose the battle. So as long as I have one unit still alive at the very end of the battle, I can still win the game. And there's not like permanent death that exists up in there though. So what I did is I lured one of my main units up into the kill zone box and draw almost a ton of enemies through there, including like the head honcho boss. And I lit that sucker aflame, killed ally in the process, but took down like 8 different people along with the head honcho boss with it. I was like, bro, it was a savage move, but that game makes you do some crazy decision making and some stuff on the fly though. So I've been really enjoying in that game, and that's on my Twitch channel if you want to see how that one played out though. But yeah, so honestly, some really good stuff. I've been playing that, and I've been playing a little bit more Dragon Ball Fighter Z because of the fact that I did get a new fight stick in. So I've been kind of going through and playing through, get that broken up into, so that way I kind of get used to how the fight stick kind of operates and getting used to the button placement and stuff. So that way, whenever I start up Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, I'll kind of have that underneath my fingers already, so I'll be ready to go when that game comes out though. But yeah, so those are some of the games I guess I've been playing recently though. But yeah, that's about it for me though. But what about you, Steven?
Been playing Pokemon Platinum on the side. About just got, which is pretty early, but I've been taking my time with that game. But also, I am playing Demon, gotten to the second boss.
You said
It's
Demon Souls,
very,
right?
yes, I am demoning those souls as we speak.
Hmm.
It's
fairly good
it's
stuff. Wait, where you at in Platinum
it.
right now?
I'm at Eterna City, yeah, which is early. I know.
Oh, like
Before
that's a
you say anything,
third gym leader town or something like that.
like second gym leader.
Second, yeah, I think, yeah, second, I think, second.
I'm liking the game so far.
Well, that's good because you never played Platinum before, correct?
I didn't.
Yeah, so you should be in for a good time. You should be in for a good time because that's one of the better games in the Pokemon series. I will have to say that, along with the Gen 5 games and Gen 3, 4, 5. You can't go wrong with any of those games.
Oh yeah, I played Emerald before that, and I did love that game. But like I already knew I was gonna like that game. Like I don't know. Obviously, it was,
Oh,
but
oh, you
I
never finished it?
always liked it. I never finished it. No,
Ah, okay, I got you. Alrighty.
I did like it though.
Yep. And I guess if that's the last little thing you have to say right there, Steven, that's almost just about going to wrap up the show. Normally, I would do the community questions thing, but once again, I forgot to even throw out a Twitter poll or my stuff at
Wait,
28. What do you want to say?
I was gonna say one more funny thing regarding Batman spoilers. I liked the
Now you're going to make
scene.
these people tune out again for a second time, bro?
Seconds.
All right.
Okay. I was just gonna say that, like, that he Batman confronts Riddler in Arkham Asylum. I kind of thought it was kind of cringy when Riddler like starts like whining. I thought this would go different. Remember that? Where like he's telling Batman to just join him, and then Batman's like
Oh,
no,
yeah.
and then he starts like basically whining. He's like in his cell screaming.
I
But
mean, that's
like,
when you knew the dude was
yeah,
insane.
well, yeah, but like I do like the setup to everything he does, the clues he leaves. Yeah,
Hmm.
very very interesting. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I went to go see it with he liked it. I liked it. Fun time. Definitely. I don't know. Everyone talks about. Last thing I'll say. Everyone talks about that movie's length. I feel like it overstayed its welcome, mostly because I enjoyed the detective stuff so much.
Hmm. All right. Well, I guess that pretty much does it for
All
this
right.
one episode. And Mario showing up late here in the comments. Yeah, forget you, man. Forget you, man. But anyway,
What did
though,
he
that's
even say?
he says I don't even want to mention it because it's something dealing with the forbidden LL. So I'm not even going to mention it.
The forbidden.
Yeah, so that's basically going to do it for this show, though. So if if you really like this episode, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on anything that I might be dropping out on my YouTube channel. If you happen to be one of my followers that happen to be watching this on a podcast server such as Google, Apple, Spotify, or even Amazon Music, make sure to go ahead and hit a like button over there, or just go ahead and hit that follow so that way you don't miss one of my episodes. And just, go ahead and share out the podcast. Just let them know and say, hey, someone cool over here. Name is Megazard X, and we just gotta go through some of the stuff that happened in the past couple of weeks, talking about the pop culture and gaming stuff related, and anything else we kind of feel like talking about that happened within the past 2 weeks, though. But yeah, so that's basically gonna do it for the ZardCast episode 28, y'all. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.